to tell them to get jobs. Okay, get another job to do. For my office, they come there a lot. Some people come when more you may say, oh, minya, enjoy the say open industry, no. But oh, they age more for kind of way and far. Then no, but some really have talent. Let us push those ones, even if the person doesn't have money to pay payola. No, the person doesn't have money to push a song, but the person has a good song. Like this guy who did the Old Time Road, you know, this American Old Time Road. You know, he was new. He hadn't done any song before, but just that song hits, and it's good because you know out there they don't honor musicians based on popularity. They honor you according to how good your song is. You know, there are so many quality music over here that if we decide to push those ones rather to the world stage, Ghana music will go far. For this ones, I would like to mention some names like Trigmatic. Great musician by all standards. Walasi. Great musician by all standards. Sugar Lord. Not because he's my artist, but I know he is a great musician. Someone like AI. I don't know if you've listened to AI before. I can't. These guys are great artists.
They have time to cook the music production-wise.
Exactly.
Content.
Exactly. So you see, if we only have that patience and that supportive system to give some of these artists, our media will do that. I'm sure our industry will go very far. Some people are already big, okay, and once we start giving these young ones who are talented the chance, those who are already big will now also start looking at the kind of material they put out there. It got to a point everybody began thinking that, oh Charlie, all I have to do is do something crazy and I'll trend. Yeah, just do something crazy, bring a dance to it where people can, excuse my language, fool about with it, and then it's gone. So people stopped doing good music. I know people who are talented who at the point, Charlie, if I forget some hook bio, I have to get something funny and then just put out there. People have stopped doing music. People are not playing. Exactly, look at Akwaboah music. Great musician by all standards. The progression.
The elements, the dynamics.
The modulation. The guy who...
Thank you.
He's a great musician, but we will not push.
Those people.
We will not push because unfortunately the people we put on our radios and stuff to even discuss musicians and their songs, they themselves don't know music. They don't know music. So
most of them are just fans of music.
Thank you. They are just fans. Like they just happen to be in the industry. But sometimes I sit on radio and me and my people and my artists, they are really musically inclined. So we sit in my office and we listen to some radio panelists in some stations and we just laugh at them. You listen to what this guy is saying, you know, and it's funny because some of the arguments are very infantile. Like it doesn't have any musical value in it. I listen to music a lot. I listen wide. I watch the shows I like watching, the American X Factor, the British Got Talent, and there's this show called The Four by DJ Khaled and PDD. No, just watch that show and you see that they don't joke. You know, I like watching such.
Don't joke. This interview is going to be part 1 and part 2. This is education. Maybe 20 years to come, I want to refer to this interview.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Now, how to push our music to the diaspora? Like we keep saying, most of our African countries have been able to, like
Angelique Kidjo
has been able to take African music to the diaspora. Apart from contents, what national agenda? What can we set? Conscious effort. I mean, I like the fact that you use you like using that word. Collectively, what can we do to push our musicians, especially those who are doing amazing, to the rest of the world?
Thank you. You see, there should be, as you said, I like using the word conscious. Everything you do, you have to have an agenda. You should be conscious that this is what I am doing. It shouldn't be happening by accident.
Exactly.
Government must understand. You think Nigerian music is all over the place because it's by accident. It has just happened. It's an agenda.
Effort.
It's a conscious effort that let us, because at a point, anytime you hear Nigeria, what comes into your mind?
419.
419. They are bad people. They will take your money. They will do this.
But now, music. That's true.
It was a conscious effort.
That is very true.
That these people used to clean their name, to make sure that they clear that whole 419 tag
mentality.
It was conscious. Whichever amount their government spent to do this, they did it, and it has worked. Trust me.
So what can we do?
We can also do the same.
By doing what?
By making sure that it is part of our national agenda. Part of our, when we got independence, Kwame Nkrumah knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing by setting up the National Symphonia Orchestra.
He had an agenda to everything.
He had an agenda. Oh, he set up atomic energy. And the idea was to produce nuclear energy. Well, he knew that the hydro power will not last for long. So, nuclear, and if you study science more, nuclear energy lasts longer. Because I don't want to go too much deeper because of the whole technique, nuclear fission and all that. Well, it lasts longer. So the guy wanted to make sure that once the hydro runs out, the nuclear is there. So there should be a conscious effort that let us push our music out there. By pushing your music out there, you are telling people that Ghana is great. Come and visit us. Just like we did the Year of Return.
Year of Return.
Okay.
It was an agenda.
The Year of Return was a good agenda, but we didn't follow it up well. We should have made sure that the Year of Return, we are doing even 80-90% Ghanaian music. So when people come here, they will go back with Ghanaians something.
One Nigerian artist tweeted that when he visited Ghana, Year of Return, he realized that the majority of the airplay was Nigerian music.
Of course, because they actually hijacked the biggest event that happened at the Year of Return. It was for them. You understand? They are conscious. The most painful thing that can happen to any man is being in a war, and you don't know you are in a war. Anybody can hit you with anything. But we are in a war. They are aware we are in a war, but we are not aware we are in a war. One time I was in a club in Liberia, okay, and I realized a Nigerian got up, went to the DJ, and gave him money. Charlie, play only Nigerian music. He did that. So I realized, oh, okay, that's how we are doing it now. I also got up and went to the DJ.
Wow.
Charlie, you to play Ghanaian music, play Sarkodie, play me Shatta Wale, play me Stonebwoy, play Patapaa music. Because that time Patapaa's one corner was big there. Play this, only this one. Because I did better than a Nigerian. They played only Ghanaian music till we left. So I thought, okay, so this is possible. So why don't we also do the same? Walking in the street of London, O2 Arena, there's a big screen over there. I saw Davido's picture. And this Nigerian Davido, Wizkid. Their pictures were just flashing. What are they doing? They are creating awareness in the minds of people. Then I asked them, oh, do you know Shatta Wale? They go like, no. People go, even Nigerians consciously tell you they don't know our artists. Although they know.
I'm coming. See you. Apart from the agenda, individually, most of these artists and their managers there in Nigeria are also pushing that. Now, when it comes to Ghana, most of artists, I can say that, are lazy. Most of them don't have the resources. Those who have the resources are not making an effort to also move to the other countries, or like the US, you said, to go and pay, spend money and pay for their pictures to be displayed or to promote their songs.
It is because they are united. The amount of money one artist has can never do that. But if we put our resources together, okay, to them when they go out there, it is Nigerian music.
But our guys are not united. True.
Our guys are not united. So over here, do you know in Nigeria we don't have Wizkid fans and Davido fans.
Exactly.
They are fans.
Yes.
They are fans. This person likes this person likes that. Here we've segmented everything. These are Shatta movement.
You just said that it's one of the problems that is really not helping the industry.
Yes, it is. This nation, all those things are not helping us. See, we have to stop.
You're not even bother tweeting.
Exactly. Even if it's a good music, nobody, they will not do that. So we should help each other. When Shatta Wale releases a song, Stonebwoy should go and take the song and post it and make noise about it. It will not kill Stonebwoy in any way.
We still like doing those things, and
yes,
Sarkodie also like to do. I think we should like more of what we should be doing.
Charlie, this is a jam, man. Sarkodie can take how do you call it, a whole song, manifest song, and jam with it, and tweet. Charlie, hey, my brother, this is a jam, man. Because when he hit and he's going out there,
move along.
Thank you. Once Shatta Wale's name is out there and a white person plays Shatta Wale's song, the next song suggestion will be Stonebwoy.
Who is the next Ghanaian act? Let me go check him out.
It will be Stonebwoy. That will be the suggestion. So actually, when your brother goes up, it doesn't mean you are down. When he's going, he goes along with you because there's something the two of you have in common. That is Ghana.
what are you doing as the CEO of Create to making sure that at the end of the 5 years, your artists, whatever resources, you also push them to have that mileage?
Thank you. So what we are doing right now is to make sure that our artists, first of all, we are preparing them for the world stage. Okay, so that when they get out there, they will be judged by their music and not by their looks or their popularity or anything. So the first product is the music. The music must be good. When anybody hears Sugar Lord or Poster Boy or Eva Maria's songs, they should know that this music is good. Apart from that, we are also doing a lot of promotional acts. When we write a song, for instance, Sugar Lord is coming up with a new project called Caro. It will be released somewhere next 2 weeks. Caro, Sugar Lord did that Caro. He learned Yoruba purposely for this project. He did about 70% of Caro in Yoruba. You get it? The whole Nigeria vibe.
Just to get into the market.
Because they are coming into our market. They did songs putting in Odo Yewu and things, and Ghanaians will hear it and familiarize themselves with it. Oh, Charlie, it's one of us. So what is wrong with you also doing songs and speaking their language? Okay. Then their market is bigger than ours. After all, who has more to lose? We are just 30 million. They are 150 million. Probably even 200 million people. If we get even 30 million out of their market, it's like the whole of Ghana. You get it? So we also have to make sure we put ourselves out there. You know, over there, when they do their songs, there's a lot of pidgin and English in there. I'm not saying we should throw away our language. Let us mix our language with the international language as well, so that when it gets out there, people will at least relate to it and understand what we are trying to talk about. So we are doing a couple of things to make sure that we prepare our artists. So when they get out there, they will be noticed as international artists and accepted.
But there are a lot of African countries. Why is the effort also not? Why are we not also trying the effort of entering to the other African countries?
Yeah, we are doing that. Not only Nigeria. Nigeria is just a very big market. Okay. That's all. But we are taking our music to Liberia.
Are you planning to go on radio promotion there, tour there, like?
Of course.
To introduce the artists?
Of course. I'm very familiar with Liberia.
Okay.
We are trying to go and even push our music into the French-speaking countries. Okay. Just recently, we checked on some of our streams and we realized that some of them are from the Côte d'Ivoire and then Togo. We've played a show in Togo before, Aflao, around that area. We realized that we can even go into Burkina Faso. There are a lot of African countries that we can also explore our talent and our opportunities or extend our opportunities into. So we are working on all of this. You see, Nigeria just is a very big market. If you combine a lot of these African countries, they will not still meet up with the kind of market that Nigeria presents.
Okay,
it's really huge.
At Create, who is your head of costuming? Because I'm asking it because honestly, let me be frank. I don't like how this guy dresses. I don't know if he's going to beef up Poster Boy. Because image and how you dress, I've watched a couple of his videos and I don't know who is behind his fashion. Okay. And I think branding, as we all speak about, your fashion sense should also be acknowledged.
Yeah, sure. As I said, my artists are at the preparatory stages. Every artist goes through it. Okay. When Kwame Eugene started, people were bashing him. Exactly. Oh, we don't like this. He was preparing. Kwame Eugene was a young artist. He was now coming up. Poster Boy is also a young artist. Yes, we recognize the fact that branding has to be on point. That's why just recently we've done a whole lot of training on branding and that we all have to grow with the whole industry. And so, you know, every artist and the way you brand the artist, right?
I was confused.
Yes. We were all working hard to make sure that he comes out, on point and all that. Right now, I think everything is coming out really clear. And the next time you see Poster Boy, you will love him.
Amazing. 2020, I want you to look inside the camera briefly. What is your plan as Create CEO for the year 2020?
All right. So 2020, our year's objective for the year 2020 is to create jobs through talent development. We want to really focus a lot on the up and coming artists to also provide opportunity for them to also make it, because once they make it, it's a form of creating jobs to them, and once they have jobs, they also provide jobs for other people, and then the whole country prospers. We wish that every musician who is talented, who has good mind for this country, will prosper and then also be successful. And then we take Ghana music up there, and the whole national developmental agenda is upheld by all of us. Thank you all.
This guy at Crete, who sings more of Stonebwoy, what's his name?
Church Boy.
When are you going to sign that boy?
He's with Crete. You know, we have a lot of artists. He is a Crete artist, but we haven't signed him officially. We have a lot of artists in Crete who have not been signed. The reason is that we are still preparing them. You say he sings a lot of Stonebwoy. We want him to start singing Church Boy.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah, so most of these artists are young. We don't want to put the whole artist mentality into their mind too much. They have to find themselves. They have to understand who their music is. And once they are good to go, then they fly. We don't want to put someone out there prematurely, then the person will just get out. There are a lot of artists like that who have come up with, they blow and then they can't handle it, and then they just die off.
No, humbly, I think that every month, allow me to come here to have an interview. Let's have one particular topic. If it's about branding, if it's about anything, let's just hit it.
Problem, Kobe, you're always welcome.
God bless you so much. And I've been Mr. Steven. No, last name today.
Pamela Force.
You're Fanti?
Yo.
Oh, Master Fanti.
So, I mean, Kobe,
yes.
So, senior brother, the Kobe.
Anyway, brother, so I want to say thank you to Joseph Amino behind the camera, and also to Madam Jessica, who works with Crete Concept. By one direction, for her, and I want to say big thank you to everyone supporting. This interview is actually going to be part 1 and part 2. So when you watch part 1, make sure you follow up to the part 2. My name is Kobe Che.